Hey folks, MasakoX here. And if you're unfamiliar about this story, the story about Shenron being Earth's guardian, you can check out the story of when Shenron became a human and then evolved to be a guardian. Both links are available in the pinned comment below, as well as something you can get up top. Now you can catch up. Let's continue with the story of Shenron if he were Earth's guardian instead of Kami. The air that day was uncharacteristically tense. Even Goku, who was usually happy-go-lucky, even in the face of his greatest challenges, was rather focused and serious. Shenron could see his friends and disciples being unsure regarding their future. Most of them even questioned their participation in upcoming events. The Guardian was aware that his cousin Porunga was giving him the look, so he decided to break the silence and address everyone present.
"Today is a very crucial day," he started. "I know that many of you are scared, unsure, that you think Cell might be the final challenge that you face, but fear not." He looked around, meeting their gazes, even Vegeta's, who was seemingly lacking interest, listening in some capacity. "I saw what all of you can do. You are defenders of this world. You have goals and dreams. You will succeed. You have something to fight for, something that creature lacks," he nodded. "We'll be watching you from here, and we will await your return." There was a moment of very astute silence as Shenron exchanged nods with Chaozu.
"Well, you better get going," Goku smiled. "Let's go, everyone."
It's as good of a day as any to die,"
Yajirobe sighed, and slowly but surely they started to leave, one by one, with Piccolo the last to stay.
"All right, Goku has a plan. You have yours. How much should I be worried?" he asked with his arms crossed.
Shenron just simply smiled at the Namekian and shook his head.
"Do what you always do. Be the voice of reason," he said, placing a hand on his arm. "That doesn't answer my question."
Piccolo rolled his eyes.
"Fine. I hope you're right about them. About us. I hope we're ready."
"I believe so," Shenron nodded, and as Piccolo smirked, he watched the Namekian fly away, and then he was approached by Porunga.
"But are they really ready? Do you truly believe that, my friend?"
"It doesn't matter what I believe in, cousin. They have to believe in it." The Guardian was looking into the sky, observing the multicolored trails that were, in fact, his friends, flying toward their grim destination.
"Smart. But if it is truly wise, time will tell. They have become dangerous, mortals, that is."
"Indeed. Being able to create such potent synthetic beings is worrying. I do hope that a direct involvement from a higher instance won't be necessary, as it could bring doom to this world." Porunga was uncharacteristically serious.
"I'm not just talking about the ones that created your androids or your soul. I'm talking about these warriors, the Saiyans especially. The battle on Namek had already felt like something far beyond mortal limits, cousin. Let's assume that they defeat this cell. What's next, I wonder? Rivaling gods? Should we stand by this, my friend?"
"I have trust in Goku and Gohan, as well as all the Earthlings. Their hearts are pure," Shenron stated.
"What about the others, though? Vegeta, his future son. Not only is he that far behind them, but also his progeny has broken through the barriers of time. You know how much gods love when someone does this. Should I remind you how much pain and suffering the Prince of the Saiyans caused to my planet?"
Neither of them said anything for a moment. This was awkward tension. Finally, Shenron turned his head toward Porunga. "I believe Vegeta's journey isn't over, but I do believe something is changing within him, and I think that Trunks has some good influence over that soul of his. As for time and gods, well," Shenron smirked slightly, "we will cross that bridge when we come to them."
"I was afraid you were going to say something like that, cousin."
The Namekian dragon leered at Shenron with his arms crossed on his massive chest.
"You tended to complain about your guardian, if I recall correctly. About how cryptic he tended to be with his schemes. Right now, if I didn't know you better, I would see the seed of hypocrisy was starting to take root in you."
Shenron gave Porunga an apologetic smile in response. "Maybe I am guilty of that, maybe. Though I also think that I understand Kami's motives a little bit better nowadays. Anyway, let's watch the Cell games, shall we?"
Should I aid you with that? I think I can do it myself, thank you.
The fighters arrived at the arena. Cell was clearly elated to see the full set of Z fighters at the front. As they landed, he bowed with the most exaggerated courtesy he could muster.
Oh, hello. It's such an honor to house you here at my humble arena. I hope you like it, as I made it myself. Oh, look, even little Chaozu is showing some fighting spirit. Good for you, sport. Nice to see you here.
The monster grinned wildly, but the smallest of the fighters did not respond to this taunt. Then there was another person landing, much to the distrust of future Trunks, although seeing a Capsule Corporation patch on his clothes slightly eased his worries. It was, of course, Android 16.
My dear 16, it's so nice that you decided to join us after all. Not deciding to dwell upon the trauma and instead getting full road ahead into... Just stop talking. Your existence will end soon.
The synthetic warrior interrupted him as he stood behind the other fighters.
Straight to the point as always. Wonderful. You will, however, need to wait your turn. Now, I believe this is every...
Cell's irritation grew as someone was about to interrupt him.
Hold on a moment just yet, evildoer! Haven't you forgotten about something?
A squeaky voice of a man who just jumped from behind a rock could then be heard. He was holding a microphone, glasses, and was accompanied by another slightly taller man with a camera.
Wait, isn't that Jimmy Firecracker?
Yamcha tilted his head.
You're damn right, son, it's me, Jimmy Firecracker, and I'm here to announce the one, the only future savior of the world, the great Mr. Satan!
And as the two stepped to the sides, another character appeared, and the word character would be perfect to describe this individual, as he was wearing a massive white cape and sporting an impressive afro. There was some recognition in the gazes of certain Z fighters, particularly those that watched TV on the regular.
Hey, it's that guy! It's Mr. Satan, right?
Krillin was then scratching his head. The individual was kind of surprised by the lack of impression that he had had on the gathering, but he managed to regain his composure and continue.
Indeed I am, and I'm here to break and wreck this ugly, monstrous mug,
he said, approaching Cell.
I'm gonna wreck you like a pest, Cell, stomp you like a grasshopper, swat you like a fly, and squish you like a...
Yeah, we get it, bug terms. Excuse me, everyone, can he go first? I want him to go first.
Cell sent an irritated gaze toward the Z fighters.
I see that you don't value your life, creature. Fine, I'll make it as quick as I can. Although you do not deserve a painless treatment, fiend, be ready to suffer from my trademark, Mr. Satan Megaton Punch!
The loudmouthed man threw away his cape and prepared a battle stance which embarrassed everyone involved. Well, almost everyone. His journalistic hype men looked particularly excited.
Jimmy, make sure you get me from a good angle, huh? Should we do something? This poor fool will be torn apart within seconds.
Purunga crossed his arms, looking from the edge of the lookout. Just as his cousin, he was able to observe events from afar, albeit he didn't have this deep connection to the planet itself, as like the Guardian did. I will make sure he won't be hurt too much, although, seeing from this individual's overall demeanor, he could do with some humility.
Using Cell for educational purposes, that's kind of cruel, cousin.
Purunga shook his head.
Well, this man chose a cruel sport to participate in. They have to learn from their own mistakes.
Shenron closed his eyes. Cell didn't even hit him that hard, but the man was sent flying. Also, the pain in his cheek was unbearable, and he was pretty sure some teeth had broken in the process. Right now, he was a rather speedy projectile flying toward a grim destination, a cliffside. Mr. Satan never was a religious man, but he said some quick prayers in his mind before he hit the barrier. If he ever regretted anything in life, this was it. The last 30 seconds, that is. As he was about to meet his doom and be utterly shattered due to his collision, he suddenly felt like he was starting to slow down. He still did hit the rock and started to fall afterward, but everything felt less deadly than it should have been. That would leave some bruises, sure, but the most hurt thing right now was his pride, after he landed on his butt, largely surprised. Cell then raised his head, adorned in a weird crown-like organ.
Hey, unfair!
He screamed toward the sky. He then quickly regained his composure.
All right. Now that we have the mascot out of the way, who is going to be my first proper challenger? Vegeta, Piccolo, or dare I say it,
I'll do it, Goku smiled, taking a step toward the Bugman, which quickly washed away his annoyance.
my dear Son Goku? I see we're starting with the main course straight away. Well, if that's your wish, I shall satisfy your appetite.
Cell gave the rest of the fighters a creepy smile. Yeah, let's go. No time to waste. The Saiyan did some quick stretches and floated toward the bio-android, much to the shock of Jimmy Firecracker and his cameraman. After the initial shock, they quickly decided to check on Mr. Satan's well-being. He might have survived, but the attack from Cell looked rather gnarly.
Oh, how I long for this encounter, Goku. If I knew this would be the first round, I wouldn't have bothered myself with this whole show. But I'm sure you do feel a bit nostalgic.
Yeah, I think we'd better start. I've got places to be, said Goku politely.
Ho ho ho, how cute. Well then, let's go.
Cell assumed a fighting position, and the two of them clashed in the sky.
Interesting.
Shenron squinted his eyes as he followed the first initial moment of the encounter.
What is? I'm not sure that I'm following.
Porunga scratched his chin.
Goku usually starts to fight slowly. Right now, I can see him going all out, or at least with more power than he is used to.
Really? Wasn't he serious while fighting Frieza? I know that man is a goofball, but...
To the point, obviously, but no. This fight is different, and for now, they seem evenly matched. The Guardian stroked his beard.
This might not be good, considering that he's the strongest fighter that you've got. Don't you think so?
Porunga's voice expressed a shadow of concern.
Well, that might not be entirely true. Shenron looked at his cousin, looking rather serious.
Wait, what do you mean? Who? Which one might be stronger? The humans made a lot of progress, but they're nowhere.
Gohan. Shenron cut the moment of uncertainty.
The kid? Really? He doesn't even like fighting. I guess he's formidable for his age, but will he really be able to tap into his full potential?
The Namekian dragon focused his gaze on the boy. His heart was pounding when he was watching his father fight the bug monster.
That's one of the worries, yes. Also, I promised his mother that no harm will fall on his head. You are a guardian, Shenron. If he is indeed capable of saving this planet, what is more important? I think you were a human for far too long if you confuse your personal feelings with your duties as a dragon or an elder.
Porunga seemed really concerned.
I have asked myself those exact questions, cousin, and I felt this might be part of Goku's secret plan, to allow Gohan to unleash his true potential. But Gohan is his own person, and fighting for him was most related to unpleasant moments in his life. Unlike Goku, who found meaning in his existence through fighting, his son always did this out of necessity. There was always some sort of adversity to deal with, which threatened to shatter his world. From the earliest years of his life, he was always forced to play this game. The Guardian's grasp on his staff strengthened. Duty is not always easy. I am older than you are, and I know the weight of sacrifice. Sometimes we have to stand up to the task, whether we like it or not, Porunga stated calmly. I do agree with you on that matter, but the boy is not alone. He has his Guardian behind him. And what does the Guardian plan exactly to do with this?
Shenron smiled calmly and placed his hand on his cousin's massive shoulder.
His Guardian knows the sacrifice you just told me about. Remember that the duty goes before everything, even when it hurts. He knows the value of service, but also has gained the unique perspective of experiencing humanity and the beauty of morality and mortality. And while analyzing all of that, he realized something that our enemy doesn't. That in his vanity, he is unable to see anything but his own hunger for power.
And how is that going to help?
Porunga started the sentence and then stopped. He gazed at Cell for a moment, then his eyes widened.
Wait, you don't mean... Wait, you mean...
Porunga was shocked for the first time, but then when Shenron saw him,
Yes, I do. If everything else fails, we have a final ace up our sleeve.
But this can backfire massively. Do you even know what you are suggesting?
Purunga was flabbergasted. That's why I have my best man on the job, Purunga. Shenron smiled and looked toward the area. Chaozu felt someone's gaze on his back but saw no one. He was trying to calm down after the brief fright when Goku announced that he was giving up the fight, shocking everyone. Not him. It was just as Shenron predicted. The gears of time were turning. Chaozu was awaiting his big moment. He had to be ready for Tenshinhan, for Gohan, for everyone. And that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now.